Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of Gentlemen's Club Whiskey. I am your host, Marc Antomattei, and I am so tired of doing these reviews. So I just recorded this review just minutes ago, and I've had some audio dropouts inside of my audio recording, and obviously I can't put it out like that, so it means I have to do the whole review all over again from scratch, meaning that I have to drink it all over again. And by the end of this, I'm probably going to be wasted. But here we go. Take two. Today, that's the wrong bottle there. I have two of these things. Let me just show them both on screen real quick. So this is the one that I'm going to review right now. Today, we're going to review, this name is a mouthful. This is the Kirin. This is the limited Kirin Fuji Gotemba 2017 Distiller Select Single Malt Whisky. And this is a item that is limited to the Kirin Fuji Distillery here in Japan. So, what does that mean for you? It means limited edition, bro. Limited edition. So, I just drank this and I read about it as an excerpt out of my book, 50 Japanese Whiskies, available now in hardcover, paperback, and ebook format. And here's the entry here. This is the body of my review, and these are the tasting notes down here, along with the price. So I'm going to read an excerpt of this today as part of my review. This is my glass from the previous review that still has a little bit of it left inside of there, right? I'm not going to pour any more. I think I'm just going to leave that as it is. Let me go ahead and start reading this real quick all over again, and then I'll let you guys know my take on it at the end. I bought this single malt whiskey along with the previous entry, the 2017 Distiller Select Single Grain, on my visit to the Kirin Fuji Gotemba Whiskey Distillery on November 7th this same year. This same year meaning 2017, so that was about 3 years ago. I think the asking price for both of them was way too much, and I bought the small bottles for both. This is underwhelming. Neither is this sweet, fruity, floral, peaty, or chocolate. Both whiskeys in this limited set are underwhelming, and what I'm going to say next essentially goes for both, not only this. These feel like cheaply made cash grabs. The exclusivity of them, where you can only get them at the distillery, will make patrons feel like they have to buy them while there. Otherwise, they won't be able to get them again. And then once you get it, you realize you got something with no effort put into making them. They seem immature in age for the minimum amount of time to be hurried along and bottled. I don't appreciate this at all. I'm glad I went through the motions and got to have the experience to taste it just to warn you not to. And hey, the best thing I got out of this was only another entry in my book. Now let me say right off the bat, from the get-go, my feelings about this whiskey have changed in the course of 3 years. Now, whether that is that the taste in this bottle has been subjected to weather or time and has changed over the course of 3 years of me owning it, or whether that's due to my more experienced tongue, whatever the reason may be, my thoughts now and my thoughts in this book have changed a little bit. Most of the tasting notes still correlate and are the same with one another from what I wrote then to what I think now, but what I'm saying inside of the body of my text is don't try this whiskey. It's not worth your time. I'm putting emphasis on that with my words, but I would say that you do need to try this now, as the price is decent for a Japanese whiskey at 2,100 yen. And the full-size bottle, this is 200 milliliters. So this is the It's not really half, but we call it the half-size bottle. 2,160 yen for the 200 milliliter half-size bottle, and about double that for the full-size bottle, which I believe could be anywhere between 500 to 700 milliliters. Regardless of which one you buy, it's worth buying it for twofold reasons. One, being that whatever country of origin that you come from, if you were to buy this and take it back to your country of origin and you were to sell it on the secondhand market or inside of whiskey groups, what have you, you can easily get double the price that you paid for it, if not a little bit more. You would be making the price as you would be setting the market price as you are the only one in possession of this. So whatever you say goes. You're the boss. Just for the fact alone that as a collector, you can make more money with it than what you paid for it. That's reason number one to get it. Reason number two is that the price with how much Japanese whiskey costs these days in countries outside of Japan and even in Japan, how much it costs, I would say you're getting a pretty good deal. The price is quite low. So you can get it and just drink it and enjoy it like that. Get 2 bottles, one to sell, one to enjoy. Anyways, we're about to go into my tasting notes right now. Let me go ahead and have the first nosing. The nose is a little bit oaky, and there is some maple in there. But when you add a little bit of water to it like I did, because it is 49% ABV, you don't want to burn your taste buds. You want to scale that strong intensity back a bit. After you add the water, it starts to remove the maple just a tad bit, not entirely too much, but the oakiness still remains, the very wooded smell. And that wooded smell is not new wood, not old wood. Let's call it middle-aged wood. The taste on the palate, what I wrote here in the book, almost indescribable and not pleasant. I don't agree with that anymore. I also wrote that it's sharp and woody. Sharpness has now been removed. Woodiness is still there. But the best thing that you're going to get out of this one is the aftertaste. Going down is very easy, smooth. It has a buttery taste to it. Not so much a buttery texture, but a buttery taste. And it's a very lovely, smoky aftertaste. You can taste the smoke in there. You can taste a little bit of wood as well. All in all, this one finishes up very, very nicely. A lot better than a lot of other whiskeys that I have tried. Let's go back and reassess this one last time. The smell, yeah, a little bit of maple, a little bit of wood. The palate, yeah, very light. Not indescribable like I say in the book, but yes, it is very light. The finish, that's the money maker. That's where you're going to get the most return for your investment out of this. It's worth trying. Gentlemen, you tell me what I should do. Everything that I wrote inside this book was my thoughts and my mindset at the time that I wrote it. And if I wrote this back in 2017, this is what I thought back at this time. But now that I think a little bit differently, what does that mean for my book? What do I do? Do I go back and do I revise it and I change what I wrote? Or do I just leave it as a capsule in time of what I believe to be true at the time that I wrote it. This book is a product of 2020 as I put it out in the summer of 2020. And I say that is what I believed at the time that I put this out. Do I change it or do I keep it as is? Let me know down in the comment section. But all in all, you do have a good reason to go back and buy this. And this is something that they release annually, as there is a 2018 version. There's probably a 2019 version. I'm sure there's a 2016 version, and it's just the beginning of this year, but pretty sure they'll put out a 2020 version, a 2021 version. So I recommend you get it. Anyways, that's my review over the Distiller Select Single Malt Whiskey for the Kirin Fuji Gotemba Distillery. Gentlemen, salute to you wherever you may be out in the world. Make sure that you drink responsibly. And as always, gentlemen, you know what to do. Keep it classy.